So here we are at discussions. This is where you're going to be doing a lot of your work in the discussion boards because that is where we're going to have our class discussions. In a face-to-face class, that happens during class. So this is sort of our class time part in the discussion boards. So I want to explain to you the different types of discussion boards that are available to you. The first one that's listed is the questions one that I've already talked about a couple times. The questions, I created this so there is a place for you to ask questions both of me and of your peers. So again, if you post a question under the questions for instructor and it's taking me a long time to reply to you, it's probably that I just haven't checked there for a while. It sort of gets off of my radar after a while. I'll probably check obsessively for a while and then I'll forget about it. So just a little email reminder saying, hey, Meg, go check the discussion board. There's some questions for you. Wake up. And I'll go and answer those questions. And the reason I have it on a discussion board instead of just encouraging you to email, which I do encourage you to email anything that you don't want anyone else to see or anything that is like, something that wouldn't benefit the rest of the class, then just email me. But if there's a question that it's a clarification or something that you think more than just you would benefit from the answer, that maybe everybody in class is feeling a little bit confused, ask it here so then I can answer it and everybody can see the answer. That just helps the whole class, and so that's a charitable thing that you can do for your whole class. There's also, I'm sure, questions that you would like to ask people that you would ask if you were sitting in a classroom, you'd ask your neighbor or whatever, and there you have questions for peers. So, and that's, again, something that you want to ask that might help the rest of the group understand something more completely. So that's the questions discussion board, and everybody can see that. That's open to everybody. The next discussion board, however, is your writer's notebook discussion board. This is where you're going to be doing your private writing, and I'm going to put private in quotes, like private, because this is individual discussion boards. Everybody has their own discussion board in the writer's notebook forum. The only people that can see the writing in the writer's notebook forum, any kind of topic in the writer's notebook forum, are you and me. So when you post to your writer's notebook forum, like here's the topic, 7-minute writing letter to me. So when you do this, I will be able to see it and you will be able to see it, but nobody else in the class will be able to see it. It is your own individual board. So anytime I post anything under the writer's notebook discussion, it is a private place for just the two of us. And two of us, and then I'm with everybody. So I can see everybody's because everybody has their own. Anyway, so I want you to know that so you can write differently here than when you're writing in public. And this, the next discussion board is a letter of introduction. And this is where I put all the directions on how to use the discussion board. It's very detailed here. I have screenshots. And this is what you are going to do to introduce yourself to your classmates. So your classmates are going to be able to see your post and reply to your post. This is a way that we can get to know each other. I've already posted, as you can see, my letter of introduction for everybody, and so there's already something for you to read. And I give you some really specific directions here on how to do a discussion board. The next one is serial. This is the one we're going to come back to every week, and you will have a prompt that you are going to be writing about for each episode. This is in addition to the notes that you are taking. Maybe you're taking some notes and that will be added to this discussion board post, but make sure that you have a notebook or maybe a Word document or something that you're keeping track of your thinking as you're reading or along and listening to your serial podcast. Because all of the notes that you take and the thinking that you do about Adnan's guilt or innocence is going to be helpful to you for your final argument paper. So I just want to stress that you really do need to pay attention and think about each episode, because otherwise you're going to be doing a whole lot more work at the end of the semester than you need to do. If you do the work as we go through the semester, your podcast at the end of the semester is going to be an easy thing to put together. If you don't do that, you're going to be doing a lot of work at the end of the semester when there's going to be a lot of work anyway. So my advice to you is to take some notes, keep track of your thinking, look at it as an investigator or a lawyer, and figure out, is this guy guilty or innocent after every single episode? And notice your thinking and if it switches back and forth or not, and notice all of that. So this discussion board isn't where you're going to be doing that. You're going to be actually answering the prompt that I'm going to give you for this, but it might add to it. So there's serial, and that's where that's going to be housed. All of your serial discussions are going to be there. And then we're going to have the curiosity inquiry research presentations here, and I'll talk about that later. So those are the ones that are open right now. I want to direct your attention to this part of the letter of introduction because it says, first of all, before you do anything, please go to settings and uncheck this box. So I just want to show you real time where that is. At the very top, here is settings. You're going to want to click on settings, and then your thing this will be checked. Always show discussions list pane. Include original post and reply. This is where you're going to look, and this box right here will be checked. It's just default that it checks that box. D2L makes that box checked as by default. I want you to uncheck it, because as we're going through and having conversations, it gets really, really messy if every single post is posted multiple times in each reply. So if you don't do this, that is going to be affected on your grade. This has to be done. Uncheck that box. So again, I went up and I did settings to get here. And it's also, there's screenshots and stuff on the letter of introduction. So in the green directions right here, it tells you exactly what to do here too. So make sure that you uncheck that box. Okay? So that is the discussion board. Now I want to show you the last thing on D2L, which is assessments. So under assessments, there are two places where you're going to look. The first one I'm going to show you is your assignments. Your assignments are where it's an assignment. You're going to post your assignments where I will be able to grade them. Okay, so this is graded things. And you can see that there's already stuff in here. There are the 3 big papers and all kinds of components within those 3 big papers. But the one that you're going to be working on this week is the reflection paper of an essay that you're going to read. And what you're going to do here is you will click on this, and I'm in as an instructor, so it's not going to look the same. I wonder if I can do it differently. Hold on a second. I'm going to go up here. And this is where you go to your profile right here. If you click on your name up here, this is how you can get your picture changed. But I'm going to go in as a view as a student and see if that will work. No, of course it doesn't. All right, so I was in assessments, assignments, and I'm going to click on that, and now it's going to look right. So here are the directions for this assignment. And then when you're going to probably do this like in Microsoft Word, you're going to have it typed, and you're going to use MLA format. So you're going to use Times New Roman font, 12 point. You're going to have 1-inch margins, and it's going to be double spaced. And then once you write your paper, you're going to save it to your hard drive, and then you're going to add a file. So you come in here, You go to the Good Muslims Do Bad Things Too. You're going to go to add a file, and this is just like attaching anything to an email. Go to my computer, upload, and this is going to take me right to my hard drive. Here are all the syllabi that I've done. So I would just choose something like this and then open it. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to. So then once you open it, it will upload here, and then you press add and then done. And then it will show up. Like when you upload it, it will show up right here. And when you upload it here, it will show up here. It'll show up right here. And then you'll submit it, and then you will get an email saying that your submission was successful. Keep the email. I have had people submit things and it doesn't go through, and they show me their email and I go, okay, you can upload it again. So make sure you keep that receipt so you, in case something weird happens with technology. So that is the assessment folder. There's also grades in here. So I'm going to click on grades, and this does not look like your grades, but this is what my grades look like, right? So it will list all the things that are in the grade book, and these are all the things that are in the grade book right now. I haven't even looked at this, so it may be right or wrong at this point. But this is where you're going to go, and your grades will be calculated here, and you can check on your grades. Okay? Also, under assessment, there are quizzes that I have used in the past. I am not sure if we're going to use them this semester or not. So if ever there's a quiz, it's under assessments as well. Okay? So I think that that is about it for our D2L tutorial. If you have questions about that, feel free to email me or ask on the discussion board for questions. I'm going to close out this video and then start back with the PowerPoint. So I will just see you in the next video.